Hello. This is Spliced. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to counter Shaolin. I made a community post asking if people wanted this. They said yes, so I'm going to hold true to that. Basically, it's before I get into it, I'm just going to answer a few questions, some like FAQ kind of thing. Do I think this character is weak? No, I do not think that Shaolin is weak. I think he's a very strong character and is capable to hold his own in duels or even 4v4s, depending on who's using it and how you're using it. Do I think he's overpowered? No, I don't. I think he's actually fairly easy to beat, depending on how you play against him. And, yeah, I mean, pretty much it just comes down to the question I like to ask myself every time whenever I fight a new character or anything of the sort. The question is, can you turtle this character? If the answer is yes, then, well, then the character's not really that great. Or the character is beatable, I mean. So, for example, if you want to beat Shaolin, the first thing you're going to want to do is this. And this is for static guard characters only. If you're using a reflex guard character, then Shaolin's going to prove to be quite more difficult than, you know, the latter, of course, being a static guard character. Top lights are completely rendered useless. For those who don't know, the top light is 400 ms, and the side lights, I think, are 500 ms. But with delays, it makes it like 330 ms, 430 ms. I don't know. I don't know the exact timings, but I do know that the side lights are a lot slower than the top light. If you're blocking top light, then he's forced to only do two things. He's only forced to do a heavy to go into key stance by holding it, or doing a side light to go into key stance. And both of these on PC are fairly easy to react to. I'm not sure about console. I can't really speak for you guys. So this is what you do. You go into top guard and then you face plant into the enemy. You shove yourself into the enemy and make sure you're as close as possible. Of course, the bot is not going to let me in training mode, but you want to be as close as possible to your enemy as you can. The reason why is so that the enemy can't backstep light, backstep heavy, or anything of the sort. Backstep lighting and backstep heavy is basically if you're holding back and then you press the light button to make you go back and get a free whiff. So then if, for example, like the Shaolin is holding back and then does a light attack, you'll go into key stance. However, if you're completely face to face with the Shaolin, he will not be able to backstep light, because if he tries, it will hit you. It will lunge forward and gravitate towards hitting the player. He has to be about this distance that the Shaolin is in order for the backstep light to actually work, so you don't want him to be at that distance. Now, if you're face to face with a Shaolin and then you backstep heavies, that will whiff no matter what. This is where you want to do a plan of attack. So if you know it's a heavy and you know that he's backstep heavying, all you need to do is simply throw out a heavy and it'll hit him, or a light and it'll hit him. If you want to be extra safe, if you know he's doing a backstep heavy, you can instantly back dodge and it'll give you the distance you need for his key stance kick or his key stance dodge undodgeable heavy to not even hit you. The undodgeable heavy might actually might be still in range, so just get ready to parry that if he lets it go. So if you're in a situation like this where the Shaolin is face to face with you, you have your guard up, and you're not attacking them, all you have to do is wait for the two things: the top heavy, the side heavy, or the side lights. Those are the three things you need to look for, pretty much. Heavies and lights are the two things, I should just say, to make it simpler. Heavy and light, and then just parry them or block them and whittle down the opponent. Being offensive against a Shaolin, obviously, you don't want to use attacks that can be parried very easily, because if you can parry them, then he can go into key stance out of that and then mix you up a little bit and get some damage in. The people, everyone's complaining about the Shaolin's kick being unreactable, which I agree. If from neutral key stance, if he does a kick, dodging it from reaction of seeing the kick coming out is not a thing you can do. You have to do it from read, which is why I suggest not even letting the Shaolin get into the kick in the first place. It's the same as a Highlander. If a Highlander is in neutral, you want to be face to face with the Highlander and pressure him as much as you can while he's in neutral. However, the difference is he can backstep light while being face to face with you. That is the difference with Highlander compared to Shaolin. And I'm going to try to see if I could set the settings for the opponent right now so we could try this. It's going to be somewhere around here. There's like a light attack right here. Boom. So I'm going to just block him right here and see if I can just block him. All you have to do is just practice this. Obviously, the bot, you know, has a lot more frames than online. But just doing this just to get comfortable with being in a neutral standpoint, blocking up all the time. After you block the attack or parry the attack, make sure you always go back to a top resting point with your character. And don't let the Shaolin get any time to do a key stance. I'm going to see if I can make him go into key stance. Not sure if that's a thing. Sun kick from key stance. So I wonder if I can get him into key stance. Yeah, so right now he's trying to go into key stance, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure I didn't have the light attack on. Yeah, so I have it off. So he's trying to go into key stance right now. If I let him... Well, that's quite the delay. But as you can see, he's trying to go into key stance. I'm going to try to make him have, like, all of his moves right now and see if I can completely counter him. Alright, so I'm going against a level 3 bot, and I'm going to see if I can defend against a bot of this level. I'm just going to keep pushing against him and see what happens. Wall, knock him down. Of course, bots are immune to out of stamina punishes, so I'm just gonna wait. That was a nice play by the bot right there. Into the wall. Down and dead. Now, obviously, that was a bot. Players don't play exactly like that. But you can slow down the fight to a halting crawl if you simply block top and you don't attack them right away. And you wait to see what they're going to do and force them into simple attacks such as lights and heavies where you can react yourself. Now, if they're in key stance, really, your chances of defending against a key stance attack with a static guard character or even a slow character is going to come down to a 50-50 guess. It's 100% a 50-50 guess. If you're patient enough and you actually let him do an undodgeable, if you're hoping for that, and you don't dodge on purpose, you have a better chance of parrying than trying to dodge and GB the kick. So, what I would recommend is hoping that he does an undodgeable and you go for the parry on that rather than dodging the kick and going for a GB, because yes, you can get more damage technically from a dodge GB, but but a kick does 20 damage and the undodgeable I think does like 35, which is ridiculous unless if you know, you block it or parry it. It's up to you ultimately if they do get into key stance. But really, this is all I just wanted to teach you guys on how to defend yourself against a Shaolin that tries to get into key stance all the time. Is simply just block top and try to pressure them from there. Of course, you can go aggressive at any point. I'm not saying to permanently turtle yourself. I'm just using this as an example. That their ability to do damage to you when you are turtling them. And I know I'm not parrying the heavies right now, and the bot's not going to key stance from them, but I'm just trying to show this as an example. Of course, you're going to have to work on this a little bit more. I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more as well. But I just wanted to shine this on you guys for everyone who says that it is impossible to react to the key stance. The answer is just don't let them get into key stance. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys will put this into practice and try to be a little bit better against Shaolins. Again, this character is a really powerful character. I'm not denying that, but I will deny that he is overpowered because I simply do not agree with that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.